TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Now, did you notice that you were getting treated differently by Vince? I guess Vince Jr. started running things. Did you notice that when you started main eventing with Piper and all those guys, that now all of a sudden you're the main event, you're not the young guy on the bottom of the shows anymore? Did Vince Jr. and Sr. start treating you different?
No.
No?
No, they would have treated me. I was just working a lot.
Okay. They worked you harder.
Yeah, I was working there. Yeah, I was working harder, and every day, that's pretty much where all that came. And this is where I came when I tell you with my body and all this, all this pressure as a young kid and all the temptation around me. And, there was no role model, but that was the only thing they did. Other than that, no, they never treated me no different. They paid me well.
Mm.
They paid me real well. I can say that. They paid me real well, and it's true. They paid me well, and I'll say it again. They took real good care of me, but it's just, I guess, the working part and the traveling and just, everything. You're only in a ring for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then most of the time you're traveling.
Mm.
You're constantly traveling. So I guess my body took a beating, a total, or, I thought maybe there'll be some breaks in between, but it wasn't.
Yeah. I don't even know if you remember. Do you remember, because I saw this result, and it's an odd match that I saw, memories of wrestling Bret Hart on a house show in Ohio back then when he first came in?
Bret Hart?
Yeah, you had a singles match with Bret Hart right when he came in, like he very first came into WWF.
I had a match with him?
Yep, a singles match in Ohio.
In Ohio. Yeah. I was, again, I was babyface.
Yep.
He was heel.
Yep.
He was by himself. He had a pair of black tights.
Yep, it was before he even had the pink.
Yeah, he didn't have the pink. He didn't have the glasses or nothing. I remember that.
Okay.
I remember enough of it to talk about, when he came out.
Yeah.
He didn't have the leather jacket. It was just a wet hair.
Right.
And just plain Bret Hart. Yeah, he was just plain. But he was what's that word he says all the time?
The excellence of execution.
Yeah, and that was him.
Yeah.
That was exactly.
Even back then.
Yeah, he was a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, he's probably maybe 2 or 3 years older than me, but he was young just like me.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get that big break too. But now at the time, I don't know if I had the angle with Piper at that time.
You did.
I did?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, I had the angle with Piper at the time. So I remember the fans were cheering pretty high for me at that, the time with Bret Hart, but Bret had some stuff too that I gave him, but eventually I won the match.
Yeah.
At the time,
Sure.
Vince, they're pushing the young. Again, I was young and good looking, but I think the only thing I can remember about Bret is his long, greasy, wet hair. I mean, that was it.
Now, how come in early 1985 you started missing some of the shows?
Wore out.
Yeah.
Burnt out.
Yeah.
Tired, traveling every day, and just gave up.
Yeah.
And I hate that. I hate what I did because, I don't know, you're burning bridges or either that or, again, you're young. I was young. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
I was sorry for what I did. Whoever's watching, I'm sorry for whatever towns or all my fans, I'm not sure. I'm sorry for that because I had no leader.
Yeah.
I had no leader, no role model. Nobody tell me, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Doing right or wrong. I had Alp and Seagull there, but again, they're not going to watch me all the time. They're on another town and I'm on another town. And I was burnt out. I was going from town to town. I was just, the time back then with Vince McMahon Sr., the business was booming. We wasn't even flying. I don't even think we were flying half of the world. It was just New York City.
Yeah. I
mean, the territory was New York.
Yeah.
Madison Square Garden Drive, Philadelphia Drive, back, Baltimore, Boston, Massachusetts. So we were just, it was all driving distance. It wasn't really, you had to fly here, fly there, fly there.
Yeah.
But I guess at that time, I was pretty much in between both, the driving and the flying. Because we were moving to other places at the time, Arizona, and we were going the West Coast.
California.
So I thought, wow, we're all my people. That's where I grew up at. I grew up in San Francisco, the Cow Palace, my first time there. Oh, man, it was so yeah, that's why I was missing those shows. I was just burnt. I made poor, there's no excuses for it. I just made poor decisions. And those are things that we have to learn as athletes, as human beings, as all you wrestling fans out there be watching, just gotta watch the decisions you make. And you learn by mistake. I mean, us as adults, as athletes, as a father, as a parent, and as a friend, we make mistakes too.
Yeah.
So don't feel bad. We make mistakes, but keep going.
Now, when you got so burnt out, you started to talk about it a little bit earlier. Did you actually go to Vince and just say, I can't do this anymore? Or did you just stop showing up?
I just stopped showing up.
Okay.
I actually got to just stop showing up. I didn't even go to him.
Okay.
I mean, that's how, I thought I had all this money. I thought I could lay back and retire and all this stuff, but it wasn't even so much about the money. You can have all the money in the world. You travel and drink every night and go. You can't even time to go to the gym. It was just, to me, that was abusing. I was abusing myself. You didn't really need drugs or alcohol to abuse you. Just that was abusing,
Yeah.
I didn't go to Vince. I just pretty much just got up and left. But I got a call from Vince. You better believe it. I got a call from him. I didn't show up. He was going to sue me for everything. So I showed up.
Wow. Oh, is that what happened? He told you he was going to sue you if you stopped?
Yeah, if I didn't show up, then, I got a call from him and I answered the phone. My dad answered the phone. It was in San Francisco. I never forget. And I got on the phone and he said, you got to come back. And if you don't, we're going to sue you. And that's where we set up at. But I don't know if it was the father I spoke to, the man. Again, I was young. I don't know. But then I don't know if he just said to come back, we'll work something out. Or, again, like I said, I was young. Yeah. I was young and I was just tired. I was pretty much just trying to get a day off, I guess.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was sorry for what happened. My mistake, Vince McMahon. And something, hopefully gets another chance. Now I'm more mature, more grown now. And you make mistakes. So I'm hoping that, that I learned by it, that people will learn, that I will learn by my mistakes. So
now you did come back and you did some shots and came back and then you actually left for good. Well, for a while anyway. Did you when you left for good? Did you go to Vince and tell him, I need to get out? Or
no, he just actually just.
Oh, he just stopped booking you, or
it just stopped.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so once you finished out your dates, he just didn't give you any more?
Yeah, and I don't even know if it went to the dates or I had to finish out the main of, the big house, you could say.
Gotcha.
Because back in those days, we wrestled in high schools too. I don't know if you remember.
Sure.
We were Brooklyn, we had high school.
Jersey.
So, but now we were going to bigger venues.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess after the big venues that I had, then I just failed out too.
Mm.
It's hard to remember back in the days because until this day, I still don't really know what really happened. I really like to know. I really like to sit down with Vince myself and talk to him about it and just to work out a second chat or just to come to agreement because I don't want it to affect my kids if they happen to go to because my kids, Vince, they're good wrestlers too. Good looking boys, they're big and, hopefully one day you'll be able to take a look at them. I just don't want them to hold anything grudge against my kids for the father's mistakes.
Right.
So again, I don't know if I just left. I don't know if he called me and just said, you're done or, there's a story behind it. It's hard because his interview was 07 and that was back in
85.
So
over
I'm sure I'll do another one somewhere and I'll hopefully have everything written up in my paper. But right now I'm going to just go with the flow.
There you go.